CJ, I know it's been a while since you were in Baltimore, and there was that game the first year when you were hurt. But what is this going to be like for you facing the Ravens on Sunday?
Not sure. Haven't really tried to stress myself out thinking about it. Right now, we're preparing for our first opponent. I mean, obviously, it's a little closer connection for me, but as far as the mental and the feeling part of it, I haven't really came to it yet. I know once I get on the field, but I'm sure like once all the smoke clears and all the hoorah get out the way, we'll be right back to football. So.
Do you remember in 2018, CJ, when you realized that the Ravens might have something on Lamar?
Yeah, I do. It was about, I say like early of the season. I think Joe was going through a little injuries, something like that. Then you kind of saw him getting some reps and just making a few plays here and there. Then obviously he broke a run and made a flash play. The whole crowd went crazy. So it's been cool to like see him go from that rookie quarterback going into my last year and now seeing him, one of the faces of the NFL. So definitely kudos to him and the Ravens.
What's it like to stop a guy like that?
I mean, it's not easy. As we all seen, most teams, it's hard to keep them contained. But we're not going to try to stress ourselves out on trying to be perfect and keep them in the box and try to be as close to great as possible. What we have to do is try to stay even keel. We know he's going to make plays. We know his receivers, and we know Andrews and the running backs going to break a run and break a pass here and there. But our job is stop the next play, or when they get in the red zone, make sure we hold them the field goal. So we got to have a bend but don't break mentality.
You saw Lamar as a rookie, but compare him to then. Compare him then to what he is now.
The main thing I would say is a lot more composure. Understanding defenses, understanding situations. So I would say that's where he's grew the most from what I've seen being his teammate to looking far now. Just his awareness and understanding the game more.
Jeff was saying that even with a lot of new pieces, you're like the glue of this defense that kind of holds everything together. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot to me. I mean, I take a lot of pride in people staying level-headed. Like I mentioned, the bend but don't break mentality. That's kind of how I live my life day to day. Not getting too high or too low on things that are good or bad. And just really understanding the situations that we're in. I've been fortunate to play a lot of football, a lot of NFL football. So I've been in a lot of different games, a lot of different situations when it comes to playing these big games, these season openers. So man, what it all comes down to is who's the most prepared and who's willing to go the longest. Every team's going to have a great player. Every team going to have a great coach. Every team's going to have something that's better than the other team. But at the end of the day, it comes down to execution and guys being able to go to the whistle blows.
CJ, what do you think of the potential of this defense?
I think the potential is very high. We have a lot of great guys starting for our defense. We have a lot of guys in the reserve that are great too, and I feel like we're going to see a lot of those guys on special teams do great jobs as well. But I feel like our ceiling is very high. It's up to us to fulfill that. When it comes to making plays in the back end, getting sacks, linebackers being all over the place. But we definitely have a lot of potential to grow, and this is going to be our first big test, and we all ready and looking forward to it, and we just got to keep moving forward after that.
From a relationship standpoint, what is your connection still with the Ravens, Steve Bisciotti, Coach Harbaugh, all those people there, Eric DeCosta? How would you describe it?
I mean, as far as a
physical, were there a while.
Yeah, no hard feelings when it comes to that. I mean, like I said, I've been in this league a long time, so I know how the NFL works. It's a business at the end of the day. But really, besides that, there's no ill will on either side.
Special feelings. I mean, they always say once a Raven.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they gave me the opportunity to be in the NFL. I spent 5 years there. I definitely consider that home for a long time. Like I said, how the NFL works, so you can't control some things. You think about Bisciotti, you think about the coach, you think about Coach Harbaugh. Ozzie, Alabama connection there. So I mean, I have a lot of history, obviously, with the Ravens. So like I said, no hard feelings there, none. Yeah, it is what it is.
What was your relationship like with Joe Douglas there?
At the time, I really didn't have a relationship with him. I didn't know he was there, so I found that out once I got here. So I would say it was good because he was one of the reasons why I went to Baltimore. So
CJ, you played a lot of games with Joe Flacco. What gives you guys the confidence in him stepping in here for Zach for the beginning of the season?
Well, anytime you have a quarterback that's been in the league a long time, that kind of gives you that comfortability. I'm not saying that just because he's been playing a long time, we're going to win every single game. But just me personally playing with him in Baltimore, seeing what he can do, him being the MVP in the Super Bowl, him winning those big playoff games, him having that experience, that just kind of gives you a little bit of comfortability with him being behind the pocket. But and also besides that, we've seen the work ethic that he's been putting in this whole camp and off season. So we all know what he's capable of. So it's our job as a defense to keep him on the field and stop the Ravens from scoring or any opponents from scoring. And our special team jobs to make a short field for him so he can make big plays. And obviously the offensive line and receivers and running backs compliment him by being great players.
You always hear about Joe Cool and kind of his demeanor.
Yeah.
Did that jump out to you right away in Baltimore? I mean, I see you got there a couple years after the Super Bowl. And...
Yeah, a couple years. It's pretty easy to see. This big, tall guy just sitting in the pocket, chilling. When you're outside of football, you're just hanging out, talking with the guys. So he has a very calm demeanor, and I think that's one of the things that draw people to him. And he's very calm. Very collective, smart, very intellectual guy, and he's a great dad too. And I had a chance to see his kids grow up, and it was funny because my friend, the family was at the last preseason game, and they saw his kids. So I haven't seen them since we were in Baltimore. So half of them all grown up now. So it's just been pretty cool to me and him to kind of be together pretty much all my career.
With you talk a lot about your partner Quincy. This is the kind of game where anybody needs to be careful, but he's so aggressive and so tough, and they do a lot of misdirection and play action. So how does a linebacker like that or any linebacker deal with that?
With the Ravens offense, it's a lot of moving parts, so it's easy to get mixed up. So for us and as a defense together, we have to do a good job of not really just trying to be perfect and fit in every single gap, because when it comes to the run game, playing gap football, that'll get you in trouble with all the moving pieces, and especially adding a quarterback run into that, because that's adding an extra gap. So, for the linebacker part, we just have to make sure that, we're just following our job. I'm trying to say stuff without saying too much, but we just have to make sure that we just key our backs and key our reads, and we just got to play football after that.
Does it remind you at all, CJ? I'm sure you faced option teams at some point in your life, high school or college.
Yeah.
Is it similar to that?
A little bit. I would say, honestly, feel like there's a little bit more moving parts, because you can have running back going one way, offensive line and pullers going the opposite way, and as a linebacker, that's going against your religion anytime. Anytime you see a puller, you want to go that way. But with this scheme, you can follow a puller and be all the way out of the run. So it really comes down to everybody doing their job and trusting that the next man will do theirs.